You are tuning into the Goldylocks Productions presentation of the Spiritual Insight Show with Reverend Tiffany White Sage Woman.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Spiritual Insight Show. I'm Reverend Tiffany White Sage Woman, and I am very happy and pleased and honored to sit in Sacred Circle with each and every one of you again this evening. Whether you're watching this live or you can watch this in the archives, a space has been reserved for you, so it doesn't matter. So welcome, everyone, and this beautiful hour of receiving and giving and a beautiful energy exchange amongst all those who are sitting in Sacred Circle this evening. So thank you all so much for honoring not only yourself, but each and every one of us. So I am very, very grateful. All right. I had a sneezing fit right before I came on. I was like, okay. The weather. Anyway, it's beautiful, beautiful weather. All right. Hello, Sarah. And yes, nice to be back in our Sacred Circle. Much love to you and Anthony and my godson, Austin. Hello, Chris. Happy Sunday to you and to everyone. Hello, Maureen. Let's see. Marie, hello. Hello, Amy. Hello, Angel. All right. Yay. Hello, everyone coming in. Thank you so much. All right. So, I know everyone just feels kind of crazy and discombobulated, and just this seems like this is going to be the norm during this whole ascension. Yay! Throw your hands in the air and party. No. Oh, it's okay. We'll all get through it, and we have each other, right? We have each other, our Sacred Circle for support. Hello, Wendy. And so happy Palm Sunday. It is Palm Sunday. And there will not be a show, I'm thinking about this now, next Sunday, which is Easter Sunday, of course, so that we all can spend time with our loved ones and or just time alone with our Sacred Circle of angels and guides. Whatever you choose, right? There's no right or wrong with that. You got to do what's comfortable for you. All right. So also my website is whitesagewoman.com. Welcome also to the live listeners on Spreaker Radio this evening. Hello, listeners. So my website, whitesagewoman.com, is sage, S-A-G-E, whitesagewoman.com. All right. So wanted to get that out there to everyone. Pretty much everyone knows, but there's always some new viewers as well, and we hope that you share this. If this resonates, you feel like this will resonate with somebody, please encourage you to share. All right. I know I have talked about a lot about spiritual teachers, and we're all spiritual teachers, and whether you want to use the term light workers, spiritual teachers, all of us that's on this ascension train, and embracing it, let's say that, because there are some who are still asleep and still maybe are slow to hop on, but they will. There's still time. All right. It's 2032 is when we really start to enter this golden age, but when everyone really really feels like, oh, it is here, maybe 2050. I mean, again, all this is just estimates, because we continue to surprise and amaze all the ascended light beings, the intergalactic council. We all surprise how fast this ascension process is taking. We are making history. This is, remember, we're beyond 2012. Every day we are writing a new chapter. We are making history. We are creating the new golden age. all right, that we're getting ready to come into, that has, the very beginning, the phases of it. And it's, so there's still time for us to share. And when you may think, when I say you're a spiritual teacher, you're a light worker, you may think, but I don't do that type of thing. I don't like teaching. Well, you know what? You put yourself in this service industry. Guess what? You are a teacher. You're teaching people how to be, how to have that balance between doing and being. You're teaching people by the way you're living your life. So remember that. All right. And just the way that, yes, we still have some challenges to go through. It's just part of it. It's part of the whole balancing act. I call it the balancing act. Like riding a bike, it takes tremendous balance. But you hit a rock or a pebble in the road, what happens? It kind of catches you off guard a little bit. But you have to realign and rebalance yourself. All right, so there's always going to be plenty of these little rocks, pebbles, potholes, in the road. And we just, when we can have some foresight of what's coming or paying attention, and we can miss it easily, right? This just kind of swerve. And some of them we need to hit and learn those lessons. So, and exactly, Chris, we are all students and teachers. We are both. And that's the thing. We're all learning and growing and developing, and just, it's the sharing. We are not meant, divine design wise, we are not meant to be selfish, greedy, and just take. That's very disruptive in energy, and it's also very off balance, isn't it? Very much so. Very low vibrational 3D. And so it's when you don't care, none of you have to worry about that. Someone like that's not going to watch a show like this, or even be connected to any of us. So it's okay. But it's still out there. There's still some people that's in the 3D that want to stay in the 3D, that are comfortable and are scared to get out of their comfort zone, right? And we have to be understanding and patient. So we have to be patient with them, even if you might not understand why they're slow to move. That's their thing. That's their mission. That's what they need to learn. We can just send love, just pure, non-judgmental. And that's what the divine love is hi, Joy, how you doing? Most definitely is non-judgmental. We are all in this together. All right. And so I had an interesting conversation with a dear friend of mine. She asked me today, she said, hey, do you, are you experiencing, some more sensitivity? Like you just really don't want to go anywhere and be around people. Now, I know we've discussed this several times in past shows, but how the more we are ascending, the more we want to feel like we're a hermit. Oh no, I don't want to go anywhere. I mean, seriously, it's like I have to run some errands and do some things once a week. Now, I'm outside every day embracing and acknowledging nature. But as far as like actually getting in your car and going somewhere and experiencing other people, it seems like with each ascension that we get into, each vibration, it seems like that we are a little bit more sensitive and just a little bit more. We just want to be careful and protect ourselves and the boundaries even more. And so, hello, Sabrina, beautiful. I miss you too. Much love to you and the family. Absolutely. We've got to get together. We live so close. We really do. Now, I would go and we'd get together with you. And since we both have dogs that probably, are a little antisocial, we could meet somewhere and safe and comfortable and safe boundaries and have some tea or some coffee. So absolutely, she just wanted to be reassured to make sure she wasn't downsliding, because it's like, aren't we supposed to always be helping each other? And here's the thing though, you can help somebody right from your own home. It's by sending love and light out, by sending that. Remember that ceremony of creating your sacred space every day. And so I want to go into, because someone had asked, well, what do you do? What do I do every day? Part of my, and it's not really a ritual, because sometimes I change it up, but it's what is the same is it is just the presence, being present, being there, acknowledging this energy. All right. And so my day, I actually get up early, but for about an hour and a half, I take care of the dogs. I let them out. I feed them. I actually start preparing for my ceremony. And this is all before coffee, because once I sit down with my coffee, hallelujah, yeah, that's my prize. So anyway, but before that, after I get the dogs outside and then bring them in and they're fed and they're comfortable, then I move into, all right, and I create the sacred space. And for me, that can be different things to different people. It's not always the same. I like to make sure that the place is clean, so we have a cover over the couch. Anyone with dogs, you have blankets and covers. And so, I may get a load of laundry and like making sure the bedding and their blankets and maybe the couch cushion, the couch is vacuumed off. And the room where my altar is, most definitely in the living room, I really want to be very careful and make sure with that. So I do want to make sure. I recently strung up some purple lights, and these are not like Halloween purple. These are purple. Amazon has them. They're purple with a little bit of pink. Oh my gosh, they're so gorgeous. It's like the cosmic heart color. So I hang them up, near the altar too. So it's preparing. I start lighting incense. I start lighting candles. And with each candle, I say an intention. So it's almost like a prayer. I say an intention. And those who took my Activate Your Avatar course, I listed some examples of those intentions. The I ams. So I start off with, I am my higher self. And I say it 3 times. And then I go into, we are our higher selves. Because remember, we've gone from the I am to the we are, because we are one. That's the golden age, is back to the we are one, the connection. No more separation. So I go into I am grateful. Repeat 3 times. Go into we are grateful. Repeat 3 times. I do this with each candle, has an intention with it. And whether it's a candle or it's, I actually have a lot of just salt lamp, the votives with the little tea lights in them, and then light those. And so, but each tea light, each thing has a prayer or an intention associated with it. All right. So that's how. All right. Hello, everyone. People still coming in. Hello, Rosina. Hello, everyone. And so it's really, really how you want to do that. And so I do all that first. And just make sure I have some sound healing. I put on chanting music, chanting meditation music. I gong the gong. Sometimes I'll even play my bowl, my Tibetan bowl. And hello, Courtney. Or Williams Lynn, hello. I will do that. It's whatever you want to do. Have some sound healing incorporated with it. I also like having Om Mani Padme Hum playing in the background too. And you can find some of these chants on YouTube. Very easy to find. You pick your favorite one. And then I have that playing in the background as I'm going around and doing this ceremony. And as you know, you're going through, and doing this ceremony. And when I'm lighting the incense, I go into each room on the downstairs of my home, because it gets sent up in all directions now. I will take with the incense, I will say, only peace, love, and harmony resides here. Only peace, love, and harmony resides here in this sacred, sacred, sacred space. And I like to say things in threes, but it really nails it in. So I make sure I'm saying this 3 times in each room as I'm going around. Now, what's happening now when you do this energetically? It's not just your home. And I visualize where I am, look down, you're in the center of a balanced cross, not the Latin cross. It's got, it's off, it's not even, but a center cross, a cross where, the sides are like the directional cross, the direction. You're standing in the center of that. And then it's like out in all directions. And then I even go up and down, all through all dimensions, vibrations, and realms. Aha! Now you're sending this intention and this creation of peace out in all directions, way beyond your home, way beyond the land, and it's going down and up and out in every direction, affecting your neighbors, affecting your community, affecting the whole world, affecting Mother Earth, helping Mother Earth with her ascension as well. And it's just like it's helping us all. That's where the I am turns into the we are. That lotus opening. Aha. The I am is the middle. I am, I am, I am, I am. I'm blossoming to we are. So that's just very powerful. That's why it's important to have sacred ceremony. And another thing too, whether you like feng shui, it clears your space. It absolutely, your space feels so good. If for any reason, I haven't missed a day in a very long time, but I do remember when I did miss a day, I would feel off. Now, to accommodate travel time, because you like to travel and you're not going to be there, I would prepare 3 days before, and I would always say, okay, now this is going to repeat. This is going to repeat. And as I'm lighting candles, I'm imagining this is an eternal flame in the esoteric field. This is always burning, whether this candle's really lit or not. So this flame, this intention is always there. All right. And it will repeat. And then when I am traveling and I get up, and it's kind of like, how you have the app, on your phone or whatever, and it's like, set alarm. You can do the same thing. It's kind of like, okay, I have crystals, with me when I travel. So the crystal pretty much is set that space. Here we go. Activate that sacred circle at home. There you go. It is just that simple. And you have to and believe and know that works. Let's see. With Wendy, I have ABC chant for her grandson. I love that. Hey, though, That's cute. I love that. That works too, because you want to sing and you want to incorporate singing, chanting. That really drives it in with chants. And with intention, intention. And lately, too, just been drinking. I know I always drink a lot of water. And it comes and goes in waves like, okay, I feel really hot. I need to drink more. Okay, now I'm cold. And it's all part of everything. All right. So singing, chanting if you want to, it all helps to deliver this intention, this prayer, this developing, this sacred ceremony. All right. What's really interesting is that all of this kind of falls into place. Yes, Joy, intention is everything. Absolutely. And okay, so those that don't set an intention, do you feel like you're in command of your life? Those that just get up and we've all been there. I'm guilty. I used to do that, join that rat race, so to speak, of, all right, you're fed the same type of belief system of what you've got to do by a certain age and have this job, and you get up and you go and you da-da-da-da-da-da, and it's like, wait a minute, where am I really in this? What about what I want if I don't agree with society's plan? So that's when we break away from society and everyone else's ideas on how we should be and set our own intentions, set our own course. And that's when it's powerful, right? So let's see. I wake up happy. Roberta. Yes, that's great, Roberta. Yes, and absolutely. Wake up happy. And if you're not, you can change that. Like if you've had something, a startling dream or something, then it's okay. You can change and shift that just at any time, just immediately. It doesn't have to set the rest of your day. Like you get up out of bed, you're in a great mood, and then you stub your toe. Well, that stub your toe doesn't have to set the rest of the day. You can get back to happy and just go, oops, okay, and so, and just don't make a big deal about it and go on, hopping along, but tell the pain sides, but, it is all about the choices. And it's very interesting too, because as we ascend, we're shedding off everything that's not for our highest and greatest, everything that's not going to be useful for us. So what can happen, and this is what happened to me this morning, was I'm going to go take a shower. And so I was getting ready to get in the shower, and I suddenly had this overwhelming sense of fear come over me, fear and anxiety. And I'm like, where is this coming from? This is not mine, because I'm fine. I'm fine. I was happy. Okay. And I'm like, what was I thinking about before I came in here? And I was like, well, no. And then you just be quiet for a moment and search, and it's like, well, this isn't from me. This is elsewhere. And I was like, all right, so did I attract something? So I get in the shower. I'm like, wow, I'm getting ready to get in the shower. I'm going to wash it all down. Remember that too, when we send healing out, and we do protect ourselves, especially, it's very, very powerful when you're grounded into that earth star, the earth star chakra underneath your feet, grounding into Mother Earth, grounding into Hollow Earth. You're very much protected. And ask for Archangel Michael. But it was such a wave, let me say that. Then I realized too, it's not for me. It's not that any spirit was visiting and it was giving that to me. It was, as we're healing the land, the same things happen with Mother Earth. Stuff that was buried into the soil, blood from battles, darkness is emerging from the land. So you can feel this in your home. You can feel this in your work. You can feel this. It's rising up to be released. But if you're sensitive enough to feel it, you'll feel it. And that's exactly what happens to me. And I knew, though, I was like, this isn't from me. This isn't from spirit visiting. This is actually from the land, and that's why it was, oh, wow, very, very overwhelming almost. And I have to remember the history of this land. There was a battle that took place, a patriotic battle, just a couple blocks, a block away from Fort Griswold. All right. And history was that the land that we live on was where the British camped. So there was a lot of, and that's absolutely true, because around the time of the battle, the image, all right, the imprint, I should say, gets stronger to where you can see it and feel it for those that can. So now it's like a lot of releasing. The earth is releasing a lot of things that had seeped down into the earth that's no longer for her. She's releasing her memories and things that don't serve her. And we're going to feel that. So it's even more important that we make sure we are grounded and connected at the same time, and know what's our stuff and what isn't, and help to let it go. So, all right, hey, I was in a great place in the shower. Let's rinse all this right off. Let's get off, release, resolve. We're letting it go with harm to none. And there we go. And it was fine. It was fine. But just pay attention to that. That's exactly what can happen. And just as how we're sensitive to not just other people, to imprints, to history that has happened and left that recording, so to speak, on the earth. So we're having a lot of things that we're feeling. Okay? All right. Let's see. Let me go catch up with some of these. Yes, Wendy, right. I actually do get up early and do my ritual before her grandson, Tristan, comes over. I do not feel right. Exactly, right? It sets the whole tone for your day. It really, really does. Let's see. Chris, I have a fridge magnet that says attitudes are contagious. Make yours worthwhile. Catching. I always love that. I love that too. Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. Let's see. I need to find my path. Okay, Roberta, you need to find your path. And that is something that no one else can tell you, but that you, not only you, and all of us know that, get changes in work. Yes, and pay attention to these changes. If something is hard, that's a sign that we're not in the right place. Okay? And I'm not talking about, there's going to be some minor challenges here and there, and we get through it. It's no big deal. But if you repeatedly feel like you're hitting a wall, you repeatedly feel like you're being blocked, that's exactly what it is. It is God, universe, angels, guides, all those for your highest and greatest, trying to let you know to change direction. You need to go in a better and more prosperous and abundant direction for you. That's going to be for your highest and greatest. And we make excuses about change. Some of us just don't like to do it, especially when it comes to work. But it's actually, I can't say not all change is bad. Change really isn't bad. We are always moving, always going. Hold on, let me see. I'm gonna pull my journal out, because we just had a conversation about this in my angelic committee, and we talked about this. Let me see. Okay. Oh, here was something that's really good. All right, so they want me to read some of this, because I know I wasn't going to remember. And those who channel and write every day, you're not going to remember everything. All right, so notice how when things go right in our life, we say, praise God. Some of us do. Or thank you, God. Or yes, yes, yes. We have this exclamation of happiness. But what happens if a different outcome takes place? One that isn't joyful but challenging. Do you blame anyone? Do you still say praise God? Do you blame anyone? Do you make excuses for why things didn't turn out in order to, or didn't turn out just the way that you wanted them to? Right? And how about we express this when we listen, when we see the whole picture, and it's like, praise God is great, but you're only praising God and praising the upper vibration when things go right. What about when things go wrong? So how about we say, praise my connection to God within me? Because this is a reflection of complete surrender and trust in the God and the divine source. Surrender is not fighting nor resisting, but going with the flow. Or as I like to say more, is growing with the flow. So the divine flow of cosmic energy is constantly moving, flowing in many different directions. And when we allow ourselves to participate in the flow, we grow. The flow is life force. It's that life force that is living and nourishing us constantly. And when we say be still, it's not really be still. I mean, you could be moving physically. You could be working out. You could be walking. You could be doing something, but finding that stillness within you and connecting with that flow. Like floating in the river. The river's moving and you're floating. You're still in the river. Your stillness in the river. That's moving. The river is moving and you're floating. All right. When we try to swim against that natural flow, that's where problems and challenges and blocks come in. When we resist that because we think we know better, or we make excuses, or we're scared. All right. We disconnect partially. We never fully disconnected. That just doesn't happen. We are trying to unplug from source and divine life force. That's what's really happening. Put that into, if you like, putting it into words so you can visualize that and you can catch yourself and go, why in the world would I want to unplug from source? Life will be super hard if you do that. Definitely fighting the natural flow. All right. So, when we disconnect like that, it's like putting a plant, which is a living being, into a dark closet and shutting the door. Well, what happens without sunlight and water and nourishment? How much growth will this plant experience? So the plant is wishing and wanting to grow bigger and stronger and have abundant flowers and foliage, but it's doing nothing to make that change. And all that wishing and praying and wanting is ineffective until action is applied. And the action that we're taking is just a simple surrender and trust in that flow, and to go with the flow, and to actually change needs to be applied. Let's do it. Let's go in that direction. The plant must connect or reconnect with the source of life force to receive the desired outcome. That's all of us we have to do. Grow with the flow. We reconnect with the flow when we feel like we're starting to fight or resist, or there's resistance in our life. Reconnect with that divine flow. Allow the flow. Go with the flow. And then grow with the flow. Does that feel? Feels good, doesn't it? And we have to remind ourselves of that. Most definitely. And the more we catch ourselves, the easier it really does become. Okay? So, yeah, grow with the flow. Let me catch up on some of the comments here, too. Yeah. I love this. Okay, so Angel, normally my days are kind of crazy with 3 kids, but I've been trying to help my children be mindful of their day and start their day off by asking them what they are grateful for, so they think about what makes them happy. My 5-year-old says food and water, while my 3-year-old said his pawpaw. I'm almost expecting them to say their toys, but I was so proud. Oh, that's beautiful, Angel. Yes, teach them young about gratitude. I love that. Yes, yeah, that's right. When things do not turn out as planned, it becomes thankful for the insight and lessons I've learned. Absolutely. Yes. And we catch ourselves. And you have to kind of like swallow that pride, or that's how you can feel when the ego rises. And it happens. But when you define the role for the ego actually stops doing that, stops rising up, and it knows its role. All right, Chris, going with the flow is easier than going against the current. Absolutely, it is. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Hello, Rob. I've been trying to get to your show since 8. Oh, it's okay, sweetheart. You can go back and watch, and I'm glad you made it. You are right on time for you. So it's okay, but thanks for joining us. Glad you got in. Yay! Okay. So what I think is really interesting, excuse me. Let me see. No wonder I somehow unfollowed you. I see unfollow. Okay. So it's, there's, technology. Yeah, and to see, it's the same, whether it's the same verbiage, it's the same intention. So Sarah, when things don't go as thought, I would say, thank you, God, for this lesson. It helps me grow. What can I learn from this? Absolutely. There you go. Yes. Yeah. Yep. So whatever words or verbiage you use, it's just that intention, like we talked about before. Okay, so when we talking about the what I do to create my sacred space every day, and hello to everyone else coming in. Hello, everyone. Woohoo! Thanks for joining our sacred circle. When I talked about the setting intention and setting sacred circle, this is all pretty interesting how everything comes about. Chris, our lovely Chris, and Chris Herman, in the comments there, we had chatted a couple of days ago. Was it yesterday? I'm gonna see my sense of time too. It's just like anyway. She had directed to me. We like Diana Cooper and Tim Wilde and some of the other. There's just many spiritual teachers, light workers out there, and that we sit in sacred circle with as well. And it's your sacred circle joins other sacred circles. There's always circles of 12, circles of 12, circles of 12, kind of with interlocking rings, kind of like the Olympic symbol, but with multiple rings, and almost like if you look at sacred geometry, like the flower of life. Like that. Anyway, Chris was on Tim Wilde's website, and she's like, are you familiar with this, the Huna prayer for ascension symptoms? Now, he put this up 5 years ago on his website, and it's still valid and true today. And I said, the Huna prayer sounds very familiar. And so I know I've talked about this before, right? And so welcome, Sona. First time here. Welcome, everyone. So I've talked about this book, Diana Cooper, The Keys to the Universe, Diana Cooper and Kathy Crosswell. Now, this was written in 2010, prior to 2012, on what to expect beyond 2012. And it still holds true to today, right now. And those that want to know, like, the keys to the universe, that wants to know the history, the true history of this earth plane. And many of us do know this. We go back, we know, okay, so I was in Egypt. Well, you got to go further. Okay. Atlantis. Okay. Maybe Lemurian, maybe, different tribes. And this book really talks about the ancient cultures, ancient civilizations, and the 12 tribes of Atlantis, and the kingdoms, like the animal kingdom, bird kingdom, all sorts of stuff. It's just really great. Well, they did talk about one of the keys, key 13, talks about the kahunas of Hawaii. So I was like, hold on, Chris, because I know Chris got this book too. And it does come with a CD, the sounds to the keys of the universe, so that you can hear each sound that each tribe, so to speak, ruled by. And it's just so powerful. It's like it's a note to the universal song. Astounding. It's mind-blowing, really. So the kahunas of Hawaii. So after the fall of Atlantis, there was many priests and priestesses took their people and went everywhere else in the world and developed these tribes. And so this is the Hawaii. So the great priest Hermes, who, yes, to become a Greek god, there's a reason why that the Greeks hold them as gods, so to speak. All right. When you have your 12 chakras and you're in the 5th dimension and above, you do seem godlike. All right. But he was a priest, a high priest, and he took his tribe to Hawaii. And that tribe later became the kahunas, and they hold the key to the universe. All right. So I'm not going to read all this to you, but the kahunas had the Huna prayer. That's where that comes from. Huna, H-U-N-A. 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 The Huna prayer. Now, I love it here in the book with Diana Cooper. She goes through and about how you can create your own intention in your own prayer. All right. And you can kind of, use some of that verbiage, or you can create your own and how to work with the Huna prayer. All right. And so, and what I find very interesting, we were just talking about too, is that Hermes discovered that our conscious mind must raise enough in order to push the prayer, to push the intention through the subconscious to our higher self or soul. So what do they like to do in Hawaii? The kahunas love to dance, to sing, to chant, and clapping hands to get that energy and that intention set. Isn't that beautiful? And it is powerful. And I have found that sometimes when I'm at my altar and it's like clapping, clap on, clap off, with energy. Anyway, but most definitely, it's very powerful. All right. I just love how it all comes together. All right. And so she gives you guidelines on how to create your own Huna prayer. All right. And then Tim Wild, W-H-I-L-D, Tim Wild, you can Google him, has, if you just put search on his website, because he has a lot of information. If you type in Huna prayer, then you can probably, you'll find this Huna prayer. Even if you probably just Googled it, his website, that particular post may show up. All right. But it's the Huna prayer. He's using it for ascension symptoms. Okay. And he goes through it's all, but what really caught my eye was the middle part. I am balance. I am unity. I am living love. I am a walking master. I am my higher self. And then it is so, it is so, it is so. And repeat 3 times. And I also will say, and so it is, or it is so, whatever you want to say 3 times. I always end too, and I didn't say this before, with, for me, as above, so below, as below, so above, as within, so without, as without, so within. Ha-ha. To set it. So we can all have different verbiage or different words, but that intention is still the same. I love the synchronicity. I love how it all flows. And so I just wanted to share that with you in this book. I'm telling you, it is really good. I could sit here and have story time, probably copyright infringement if I sit here and just read to you everything. And I don't want to do that, but you have to get this. I mean, talk about everything. And it's interesting because I was like, oh, I had a life there. I remember that. Well, it will really help you pick out your past lives. You will know, oh, I had a past life there too. Oh, I had yes, that's where I get that from. Yes, absolutely. Keys to the Universe, very, very inexpensive on Amazon. There's a book and there's a oracle card deck that goes with it. All right. I got both for under $30, both of them. But yeah, for under, there's 20 and some change, depending on where you live. Anyway, find it on Amazon or wherever else you'd like to order. Highly recommend this, especially if you're trying to figure out, like I said, your past lives, just trying to figure out all the pieces in the puzzle, and just, it's awesome. Yes, Angel, that's right. Amen. Oh, and so it is. I love saying amen too. Amen is very, very powerful. All right. Yes, Chris, I'm right. You haven't read that far yet. Well, I have to pace myself because it's been very rare that I've had a time just a day to just sit and read all day. But yeah, I have to, like, it's like a piece of candy or a piece of chocolate. I'm just going to have this one chapter, this one piece, savor it. Woo! So, yes, Wendy. Yes, I love it. I know, right? And it validates everything that we know. Let me say that. Yes, it is more in Canada, isn't it, Chris? Yeah. That's why I was like, just, wherever you live, wherever you live. So it's great to have all this validation. Everything falls into place. Everything falls together, and it just is so, so beautiful. And yes, I say it comes with the CD to get attuned to the different keys. And that's just talking about, when she's talking about different numbers, talking about the different keys, the keys to the universe. There's 50. And so there's 50 tones and sounds. So we put these tones and sounds in with the tribes of the earth. Wouldn't it be Earth Song? Earth and humanity and all living beings, quite honestly. It's not just us. All living beings. That's what I'm saying. It's Earth Song. And then we have applied our own unique sound and vibration and frequency, and it's this universal song that plays, and we're all a note or several notes in it, and it wouldn't sound the same without us. So each and every one of you, all of us, are important. Absolutely we are. Okay? And very much needed. Excuse me. So we have been taught that if we don't get recognition, verbal pomp and ceremony, become a celebrity, get into the public eye, then we're not, then we're just a nobody. And that's not true at all. Everyone is very important and is attributing so much to this whole ascension process. All right. Most definitely it is. And I want to let you know, be surprised. The keys to the universe is what I've always known too. That I'll show it one more time. That all living things, it's not implied, but directly, but you totally get it and you totally understand it. And that that planet Earth, to have physical, we were light bodies. In our light bodies, we didn't need to eat, to sleep, to just pure energy. So yes, there was an experiment, if you want to say that, but it's not like an evil scientist, all right? No. You have these ascended light beings, the intergalactic council. Everything had to be in harmony and agreed upon. And let's have light beings. Can they have a physical body on this earth plane? Earth suits. I've joked around calling us earth suits. We have to have our earth suits to be here. and to survive. This is a garden, a biosphere. There's lots of germs and bacteria and good and bad, and just it's part of life here. All right. And so, how are we going to survive? Aha. Now, the animals came in from different planets, and they were agreed upon to, okay, we're going to come in and we're going to help them survive, because now you're on this earth plane, things change. We have all these intricate workings, and this is, I grew up with a Christian background, so I don't want to offend anyone. If whoever God or God source is to you, absolutely, it's amazing the way that our bodies are designed. It is a divine design. All right, and it comes with its own self-healing, as long as we don't get in its way. How do we get in its way? All of us know this. We know it now. By what we put into our bodies. Is it helping my body? Am I giving it proper fuel to help heal itself? Or am I hurting it? Right? Am I giving it food that's alive? Or am I giving it food that's not even really classified as food? Seriously. And there's just so many things, so the toxins that we put in our body, toxins that we breathe, will be done with our environment. And we are, as we're coming through this whole ascension process, to a lot of things, we're getting this aha, and now I get it and I understand. And so your eating habits may change, and that's great. But know that that's not a requirement for ascension. And when you read how or understand, and you can even ask for clarification from your angels and your guides. When I say my angelic committee, I've always talked to light beings, to the angels. When I first saw them, they didn't have wings. They were just these columns of light, and I realized that they are very much so part of the intergalactic council, these ascended masters, because I always had such a close relation with Jesus or Yeshua, but he comes differently. He always did appear differently to me, not like whatever kind of paintings there are of him. But his energy is that same gentleness, that same. So it's paying attention to the energy, not really what they look like, but it is important to know that you're communicating with those for your highest and greatest. And it's so you can't copy and mimic these light beings. Those of you who've experienced angels and high vibrational beings, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It is pure love. It is just so astounding. And now, and it's not something that you'll ever forget. It's just such a beautiful connection. So that when I'm talking about the angelic community, I'm talking about the angels. I'm talking about the ascended light beings. They're aliens, if you want to call them aliens, from other planets, from other stars, from other systems. And spirit guides. I was never taught about spirit guides until 2007, when I started going to a spiritualist church and to develop a little bit more. And they're there, and I honor them, but I don't rely on them all the time, because I have gotten so used to dealing with the angels. The angels have always been my go-to, but they are still part of that angelic community. They are there. All right. So there you go. And funny you mentioned, Sarah. It's funny you mentioned food, because I'm listening. I'm making a new riga salad with homemade. Oh, there you go. Wonderful. We need to know what's in our foods. They need to be fresh. We put them and there you go. I'm not going to get into how you need to eat, but one of the things that is definitely true Okay. People probably is gonna be really needle scratching on the record when I say this, but that the animals did agree as soon as they realized that the bodies that we need to eat, to sleep, and do things to, I want to say and sacrifice is not the right word. There was an agreement of helping all of us to succeed and to advance, but understand that there was ceremony. The Native Americans, the Inuit, Eskimos, totally got that. Before they went on this hunt, they knew the animal came to them, and there was this bond, and there was this, mutual agreement, love and respect and blessing. And then after the animal was brought back to the tribe, they continued to bless it by using all of the animal, and it was sacred ceremony. When you eat, is it a sacred ceremony, or are you quickly shoving food in your face as you're driving, or do you eat around a table? Are you at a table with your family? Are you sitting down and relaxing and eating? Eating on the go is probably one of the worst if you do it all the time. That's terrible. Where's the gratitude? Where's the blessing? All you need to do is bless your food. I bless my food. I bless the dog's food. Before I feed the dog, I'm blessing their food. I'm blessing their water. I'm blessing the water that we drink, and any of it's just, I say, food and drinks that we consume for my body's highest and greatest, for my body's nourishment. My body will use what it needs and eliminate the rest. Just that simple. But if we don't guide our body, if we don't set that intention, it's just Russian roulette. I don't like those odds. Do you? No. We can't anymore. We just can't live like that. We've seen it doesn't work. Bless everything. Eat and drink. Go outside. Breathe in that fresh air. Oh, I'm so grateful, for the fresh air, and just go out there and the rain, the gentle rain. Like, we woke up. It's been kind of rainy the last couple of days where we are in Connecticut. And go out there when it's misting and just hold your hands out and let the rain, and just feel that connection with the water, with the rain, and just like, oh, wow, thank you. Thank you for your nourishing rain. Thank you, because this rain nourishes not only the plants and animals, and it nourishes all living beings on this earth plane. All right, the trees, just all of us. And that's, we've got to get back to that unity and that beautiful source. Now, I had heard that they're going to make an Avatar 2. Woo! And I hope that, I look forward to that, because that movie Avatar right there shows you what true oneness looks like. All right. Minus the humans coming in and being destructive. But anyway, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And that's the golden age. There we go. Okay, so as we're winding down. Another sip here. And as we're sitting in sacred circle with each and every one of us, you can, and what I like about this book too, they talk about all the portals that are inactive and are activating, and they have been activating, awakening. Just as there's asleep people on this earth plane, there are portals and parts of the earth that went to sleep. The pyramids used to be very, very active. I had always seen the pyramids with some type of crystal top that's missing from the top, a crystal. And people are like, well, how would you have fixed that? And it was like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like it could just float and spin. it doesn't have to have, it's just going from the energy from the earth to the stars and back down when you get in that figure 8 energy, and that energy holds and rotates that crystal ball. And that's how we all communicate. That's why there's pyramids everywhere. Communication devices, allowing the energies to come in from the stars to the earth, that power source, so to speak. And they all had crystals on top. And conductors. There you go. Whether they had a capstone too with some metal, there you go, conductive, and then the crystal, ta-da, there you go. Okay? So very, very powerful. And so as we awaken these portals, and the lands are going to change. Africa wasn't always a desert. It was lush and green. And so there's a portal that is opening in Africa, Table Mountain. We're opening that one. I think we did a couple of months ago or last month. We sat in Sacred Circle and set energy there to open up the portal. So you can help to open up these portals. Just send the energy there. If you don't have the book and you're not sure, just send the energy out to like the Earth's grid, and the Earth will direct that energy to where it needs to be. There you go. All right. So, Teresa, yes. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. No, thank you all. So we can help to continue to raise this ascension and go even faster. And we are setting records. When I ask, the Intergalactic Council, and we're making progress, and we're making such tremendous progress, more than was ever anticipated, and we just need to keep going with it, okay? And so, so much energy is coming through. It kind of makes you burp, when when I have a lot of energy, I start to belch. Anyway, it is beautiful. Yay. Okay, let's see. Yes, blessings to everyone. Have a happy Easter next week. And I will see everyone in 2 weeks. And if you have anything you want to share, or email me, and we can have a conversation and set up a topic for the next show time. Oh, thank you so much, Robin. And I learned from each of you as well. That's what I'm saying. Email me. We learn together. We have great communication. I talked to many of you on Messenger. All right. Thank you. Yes. Happy Easter to everyone that sits in our sacred circle. And you know that anytime you need healing, you can just think back to this show, think back to our sacred circle, and plug in and connect to this type of energy, and that we're here for you in a loving, safe, and embraced circle. All right. So know that. Yes. Yes. And so whether it's yes, blessings be. Blessed be to you as well, Joy. And so happy spring. I mean, it's just beautiful, beautiful time of the year. All right. Thank you. Good night, everyone. Many blessings to each of you. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks, or daily in Astral Travels. All right. Love you all. Good night.
Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed the show.